Hi everyone, it's Coach Fred here, and so I'm going over some word problems from section 1.7 in for linear topics. But so these word problems are hard, right? But remember a couple things. Number one, read it carefully. Write your variables from the question, and typically we're going to write our variable for the smaller of the two. Go sentence by sentence because I think that's the easiest way to do it. And then you got to solve the equation. So let's try this. We're going to write an equation and we're going to solve it. A bus went 318 kilometers farther than a car. The car went 1/3 as far as the bus. How far did each vehicle travel? Okay, so it's each vehicle. So I have two vehicles. So I know I'm going to have two let statements. So I'm going to go to the first sentence and it says a bus went 318 kilometers farther than a car. I just always read left to right. So I do the first sentence first. So the car traveled less, so I'm going to let C equal the distance the car traveled. So the next part of it is that you have to write how far the bus traveled, the distance the bus traveled in terms of the car. That means you have to use the C because we don't want to add a new variable. It's one variable equations. So we need to find the distance the bus traveled. Again, in terms of C, it means C is going to be in it. So it went 318 kilometers farther. So that would be C plus 318. And let me fix that. That doesn't look so pretty. C plus 318. All right. Then I go to the next sentence and let's see what we have. We read it directly as it's written. The car went. Well, how far did the car went? The car went C. It went, so this is almost like is, 1/3 as far as the bus. So 1/3 as far as the bus. The bus is an expression with addition, so it has to go in parentheses. All right. So then I have to solve this. Now, remember, I said if you have parentheses on each side of the equation, you do want to distribute first. Distribute just means multiply, so I'm going to multiply my 1/3 through the parentheses. So that gives me C equals, well, 1/3 times C is 1/3 C. And then 1/3 times 318 is 318 divided by 3. So I'm going to go off to the side to that math box and I'm going to do the work over here. So I've got 3 into 318. So let's see what we've got here. 3 goes into 3 once. Bring down the 3, subtract. I get 0. I bring down the 1. It doesn't go into 1, so I put a 0, and then I bring down the 8. So 3 goes into 18 6 times, and I get 18 and a remainder 0. So 3 times 106 gives me 318. So plus 106. Now here's the hard part, right? We've got to get our equations set up for ourselves. So we've got to isolate the C. We've got to get the C all the way to one side. So I'm going to subtract the smaller 1/3 C to both sides. So that gives me C minus 1/3 C equals 106. Now we're going to be learning how to clear fractions. And you may have learned this a little bit last year, but we're going to do this with the fractions for practice, okay? So I have to get a common denominator if I want to combine these. So that would be 3. So this would become 3 over 3C minus 1/3 C. So 3 over 3C minus 1/3 C would give me 2/3 of C equals 106. Now that's an equation that we have been working with. We know how to do that equation. We use the inverse. And remember, I said that Coach Fred likes to think of when I have a fraction equaling a number, I like to think of the inverse as the reciprocal. So I am going to multiply both sides by 3 over 2, the reciprocal of 2 over 3, because that actually simplifies this side to 1. So I just have C. All right. And on the right side, we want to simplify before we multiply. So we've got 106 times 3 over 2. I see that 2 does go into 106. 2 goes into itself once. It goes into 106 53 times. So then I have 53 times 3, which gives me 159. So then I go back to the question to see what we've got going on here. And it says, how far did each travel? Well, C was 159. So the car went 159 kilometers. And the bus, I have to take 159 and add 318 to it, giving me 477. So the bus traveled 477 kilometers. All right, that was question 5 from the 1-7 homework. Hopefully that was helpful. Have a great day.